We went to work. 3.5 years later, we got the company completely out of debt. Today, Mullin Plumbing employs over 120 employees. We're the largest plumbing service company in the state of Oklahoma. We have 6 other companies, plus a rather large cow calf pair that we run on quite a bit of land we have in Westville. And guys, I've been happy with my life. I've enjoyed it. But it's impossible to be in business anymore with the amount of mandates and regulations that's constantly facing us. See, no offense to, please, Dakota, I've never said a harsh word about you, so don't think I'm taking this in any direct grab or direct jab at Dakota. But it's impossible for someone to understand what regulation and mandates are if they've never dealt with it. It's impossible to actually understand that I'm serious when I say I spend 43 cents on every single dollar we bring in our company before I pay a bill, before I pay an employee, before I get to expand, before I buy a truck. We have over 80 trucks on the road every single day. It is impossible for someone to understand it if they've never dealt with it. You can't learn it. You can be sympathetic to me, but you can't understand it. You can't tell me that our Republican elected officials and our Democrat elected officials are serious when they're sitting up there and they're saying that they're trying to get this economy back on track. When underneath the Bush administration there was 10,600 new regs that were passed, and under this current administration there's been 10,200 new regs, and only about 70% of those or 30% of those are being implemented today. And it's already costing me 43 cents on the dollar. Now you tell me what's going to happen when they implement the other 70% that are already law of the land. They're already law of the land. Any agent can walk in and tell me I'm doing something wrong and give me a fine today, and what my wife and I have spent 14 years building would be gone. See, we operate our company on 3 key principles. Customer service first, hire and fire right, yet the government tells you how to do that anymore. And we pay as we go. All those 3 key principles, we should be successful for the rest of the time we decide to be employed. Any company should be successful with customer service first, hire and fire right, and pay as you go. But it's not true because, see, I can operate the best business and a regulatory agent can come in and shut my doors. I have to pay 43 cents on the dollar to be employed or to employ people inside the United States of America, which is supposed to be a free nation. I have to pay to do that. That sounds like corruption to me. And yet we've got elected officials that we keep sending back up there over and over and over and over again to try and get the job done, and we expect that they're going to understand our issues. I'm sorry, you can't understand the issues. You've got to be there. You've got to walk it. You can learn the system. You can surround yourself with people that somewhat know the system. You can hire people like I do. I hire people better than me. That's the only reason why we're successful in business, because I surround myself with people that are better than me, and I listen to what they have to say, and I take it to heart, and then they also have to understand what I'm saying. See, it's time that we send people that truly represent us up there. It's time we take time out of our own lives and take a sacrifice to serve and not be served. It's time we go up there and we decide that we want to be Markwayne Mullin and not Congressman. It's not the title, it's the service. And people say, well, how are you going to do it? How are you going to get anything done? First of all, I've limited myself to 6 years. See, I've got 3 kids and a beautiful wife that still depend on me. I make a living not on the government's back, but off my back, that I have to pay the government to be employed by. This is another hint. The real issue is I've got to make a living. Now, I'm dedicated 6 years of my life to this. And for 6 years, I'm going to give it 100%. See, if I know when my time's going to end, I don't have to pace myself. We have too many elected officials that have no idea when their time's going to end, and they get up there and they get in a fight, and they got their own party coming against them, and they're saying, if you don't vote this way, we're going to raise the money, we're going to go vote you out, or we're not going to give you this committee seat. You're sitting there, your whole plan is that you got to get on this committee and you got to build seniority before you can get anything done, and so now you start taking votes that's compromise yourself. And once you compromise yourself, you can never tell me that you can be 100% trusted again. See, if I know when my time's going to end, I know that I can give 100%. You can threaten me with whatever you want, and I don't ever have to make a vote thinking, well, this cost me my re-election, because if it costs me my re-election, I get to come home and be with my kids. I get to come home and I get to coach them in wrestling like I've always wanted to do, and I get to coach them in baseball. But if I make the right decision, I believe the people back here in the district will say, we're going to keep you, and I get to serve the rest of my time. In the meantime, I'm going to be up there, and I'm going to go to the Republican, and I'm going to go to the Democrat. The only question I have is, do you got America's best interest in mind? If you have America's best interest in mind, let's have a conversation. And we're going to talk about these regulations that's killing the economy, truly killing the economy. And I'm going to say, if you'll just help me, if you'll give me a little bit of seniority with you, I'll take on these fights that aren't popular. And if I lose, I'll take all the blame. I'll take the fire. I'll bring the ship down. If I'm successful, I'll give you 100% of the credit. See, they're all about building a name. It's their career. They're career politicians. They got to have that good name. They got to have that someone patting them on the back. And they can't afford to go after these regulatory agencies that we all know that are bad. Why isn't someone speaking out against the Department of Education? Why isn't someone speaking out about the EPA? I mean, how many dairies have you guys lost here in LeFlore County? Do you know in Muskogee County there's not one dairy left because of the EPA? And Adair County, where everybody had a dairy, there's 2 dairies left. But why isn't someone speaking out about that? Why isn't someone speaking out about OSHA and these regulatory agencies? Because they can't. Because, see, they'd be deemed a hypocrite because they voted for something one time or another in those agencies. But if I'm able to take that fight on and then win it with their support and give them 100% of the credit and take on some winnable fights, as we get this snowball rolling, it's like building a company. You don't go out there and buy all new trucks and a brand new van and a brand new building before you have a first customer. If you do, you're going to go bankrupt. You start small. So anybody that sits up here in front of you and says, I'm going to take on the Department of Education, how? How are you going to take them on? You going to jump in the middle of them? They're going to get punched in the gut and they're going to start pacing themselves just like all of our other elected officials. We keep sending them up there to do the same job. But if we're able to attack them from the outside, from the chemicals that overstretch, go over those overreaching regulations that they have out there, the ones that have stretched too far, and we're able to knock one finger off at a time before they even know that we're there, and knowing that each reg has a price tag on it, each reg they get so much per year to implement. If we're able to knock one off at a time, we're attacking them before they even know we're there. And as we discredit them, all these other elected officials that won't come out against them because they're all powerful, all of a sudden they'll get a little bit of pep in their step. And they'll start realizing we're doing something right, and that snowball's rolling, we're able to take on some stronger fights, and we're able to start one step at a time, reeling in these agencies. And before long, maybe we can rein this country back in, where I can actually be proud to say, if my son came to me and said, Dad, I want to go in business for himself, I'd say, have at it. Because right now, if my son was 22 years old, would think, the Lord, he's not. He's 8 and he's 6. But right now, if he was 22 in front of me, I wouldn't encourage him to go in business for himself. And that's sad, because Oklahoma's economy is on the back, but 90% of our economy is on the back of small businesses. And I would encourage him to do it. But I stand in front of you today guilty because it's my generation's fault. See, my generation is set back and not took this problem head on. Instead, we went along with everybody else, and we've allowed career politicians to be that. I compare my generation to the generation, or to the child that inherited $5 million from his parents and squandered every bit of it because he never worked for it. See, my generation inherited a great country, and we didn't take care of it. And I would give my health, I'd give my life, and I'd give every dime that we've been blessed to be able to make to keep my kids from having to carry my mistake one day. And there isn't a parent in here that would do the same. I'm putting everything on hold to make sure my kids have the same opportunity that I had, and they can operate their business off of 3 key principles: customer service first, hire and fire right, and pay to go. But I can't do it alone. I got to have people willing to help me, and I've got to be accountable for you. See, I don't want you to give me a dime. I don't want you to give me your vote. I want to earn it. And I want to earn it this time, and then I want to earn it 2 years from now, and 2 years after that. And I do that by being accountable to myself and being accountable to you. And so I stand in front of you today asking for the opportunity to earn your support. Asking for an opportunity to say, can I get your vote? Will you give me an opportunity to do that? If you open your ears a little bit to me, ask me questions, you'll see that I'm as true as I can be right here. And if I got to fake anything, if I got to pretend to be anything, then I took my family at risk, and I took our company at risk, because nothing that I can do would be blessed at that point. And I believe that wholeheartedly. I'm not doing this, once again, because I want to be a congressman. I'm doing this because I want to serve. And I want my kids to have the same opportunity that I have. So I ask for your help. And I'm going to make you this promise. I will never make a decision based on my reelection. If someone has to actually stop and think, will this cost me my reelection, that person should resign right then. Because as a leader, you got to make hard decisions. I've had to make a lot of hard decisions in business that wasn't popular today, but I knew where I was going, so I needed to make it for 5 years down the road. This country, I don't think, has a plan for 5 years.